Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first at-home edition of Ask Mojang. Today, we have two very, very special guests, Jens and Agnes. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. How is it being at home and not at the office?
It's okay. I mean, it's a strange situation, but I think we are all starting to get used to work from home, and we make sure to have lots of calls so we still can talk to each other. But I do miss people.
I would say the same. I think the nice thing is that we really learned how to work remotely using the tools that we have. Such as webcams. It's very helpful. But of course, I really miss the office.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's nice being at home in some ways, but definitely miss seeing everyone in person. It feels like, going into the office is such a fun experience when you love your work.
In the Minecraft gameplay design team, we usually talk a lot. Like someone has a question or a thought, and then we just turn around and talk to each other. And that isn't possible in the same way. But I think we have found quite good solutions for it. So, for example, we have rooms, but virtual rooms. So we have I think it's a Teams call for the big features we work on. So the developers that are working on a specific feature are actually in that call all the time. So it should be like you are in the same room. And most often, you're quiet, you are coding and very focused, but you can just say something and then someone else is there. And you can we also made the links to these rooms or calls very, available for everyone in the team. So anyone can join and come in and say, hi, how is it going? And then you maybe talk a bit about something else as well, just so you can be social. And that has actually been really helpful. So we are finding solutions, even if it's, of course, sometimes it's a bit tricky.
Do you have any roommates in your quarantine?
Yes, I mean, I have a family here. so my partner and my daughter, and of course 3 cats. That's actually one of the good things. So I can cuddle with my cats more.
So cute. Jens, other than working, what have you been doing at home?
Yes, my wife is also working from home, and we have a 4-year-old son that needs 100% attention. So we have divided the day into 2 halves, where I work half the day and Jenny works the other half. And when I'm not working, I'm playing with Björn with a train set or we go out in our little garden and play with the toys.
So let's get into some questions sent in by our community. Jens, will mobs from Minecraft dungeons show up in the base game of Minecraft?
I'm not sure, but you never know. When we add new mobs to Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Earth, we add them because they serve a specific purpose in those games. But of course, we will take inspiration from these new mobs and see if and when they might fit with the vanilla version of Minecraft.
I'm going to read this one directly. Yo to the yo-yo. We need the full version of the hashtag Jens rap.
Well, if you've been following the video series, you should know by now that it's all lies. With some tiny pieces of truth in between.
So what video series, for those who don't know what we're talking about?
The 10 things you didn't know about Minecraft, and you should check it out.
It's a really, really awesome series. You will learn so much, and Jens is featured quite a lot.
I don't know what to say about that.
It's great.
Do Jens and Agnes play Minecraft outside of their work?
Yes, a lot. When I had time. I actually think Minecraft is probably my biggest hobby outside of work, and then it's also my work. So yes.
I also play. Either I play with my son, which means that I build things and he destroys them, or I play on my realm with my brother.
I also play with one of my brothers a lot, actually.
What do you do when you play Minecraft other than playing with your brother, Agnes?
So for me, it's actually a lot about storytelling. So I have been playing on the same world for, I think it is since 2011.
Whoa.
So it's a really huge world now with lots of different kingdoms and families and all the stories about them. And I get really inspired from Minecraft. So I might go out exploring, and then I found some really cool landscape, and that kind of shapes the story of the world. So I actually have a notebook next to me all the time when I play. So I write down stories at the same time.
Oh, that is awesome. How did you come up with the idea of the shulker?
Long story short, but when we were adding the new structures that you can find in the end, they are called the end cities. We wanted to have a monster that would shoot at you, and the original idea was that it would be a block that camouflaged itself on top of what it was sitting. So if it was sitting on top end stone, it would look like end stone, and if it was sitting on purple blocks, it would look like purple blocks. But with the technologies we had while I was making it, it quickly became clear to me that I couldn't make it work that way. So instead, I decided to just design a purple monster that opens as a chest and shoots at you, and that became the shulker. And the name shulker is made out of shell and lurker. That's kind of how we thought about it.
Did you know that, Agnes?
No, I didn't.
I did.
I love, there's so many things to learn about Minecraft and all its history, and I love that it's still so many things left to learn. It's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. We were both like, what? That's awesome. What mob would you want to have as a pet?
It's a tricky question. I love lots of the mobs. I mean, I am a crazy cat lady. So in one way, I should maybe pick the cats.
I like a tiny guardian in an aquarium would be cool.
That would actually be quite cool. Maybe a turtle, especially if I would live close to the water.
I think an Enderman would be kind of nice, because if you didn't look at it, then it could at least keep moving things around, and maybe you could figure out where it was going to move things and put the trash, and then it could take the trash out, and you could put moving boxes, and then it moves it. It would be kind of
well,
and maybe
but I would be terrified all the time though, don't look at it.
Yeah, and the kind of sounds would probably be a little make you nervous, but it could work.
Maybe hoglin. They are super terrifying, but they are in some weird way a bit cute.
What's your favorite thing about being able to interact with the Minecraft community directly? And are there any downsides?
Interacting with the community is a really important part of developing Minecraft, and it has always been. So I think it's super valuable, and also that it's just it's actually the developers also that have almost a daily contact. It adds so much. We can just ask a question if we wonder something, and we can have conversations about features or tweaks and get lots of valuable feedback on snapshots and betas. So it's, oh yeah, I should have mentioned just one thing, but it's just a really, really good thing. And I think it's one of these, almost one of the fundamentals of the Minecraft development is kind of the community collaboration.
Yeah, I remember when we were smaller, I used to find out what features were going in the game based on Jens tweeting. So I wouldn't find out in the office that we all worked in with 10, 12 people, but I would look online and then find it. Does it ever get hard to remember which features people know about and which ones they don't know about when you're talking on Twitter or in Discord?
We actually keep quite good track on that. Nowadays, we even have, we have all the features we're working on, we have them on a physical board, or now it's virtual, and we actually have a little sticker for the ones we have mentioned publicly, because then we know we really should try to fulfill that promise, because the community knows about them.
Just how many stages of development does a feature go through before it makes it into the game?
We work quite a lot on each feature. So first it's an idea. maybe it's because it fits with the theme of the update, maybe someone told a silly joke, or maybe there was a super cool community suggestion, and so on. The ideas can come from like everywhere. But then we start to prototype. So we always want to have the features in Minecraft in the game as soon as possible, because it's hard for us to know if they will be fun and fit together like with the rest of the things in the game if we don't have them in the game. So prototyping is, well, yeah, we spend quite much time on that, and and then there's like art, music, all the things, and then we release to the community, like with snapshots and betas to get feedback, and that's like the next stage of the development process. And then again, we start to iterate again to listen, like adapt to the feedback, and often we maybe get inspired to add something new to the feature as well. And then the last thing is just like polishing, bug fixing, and then it's time for release. And well, quite likely some bug fixing after release as well, even though we hope to not have that. Also, a thing to point out, I think, is that we never really see something as completely done. Like we can always improve things after they have been released as well. So we always want to improve Minecraft, and either this by like adding new feature, or maybe just maintaining existing ones, or it's rather both.
So it's a continuous stages of development forever.
Yes.
That's very Minecraft.
It's very Minecraft, yes.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit more complicated now when we have more games, because when we make a new feature, we want to make sure that Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Earth knows about the feature, and in particular when we go back and change things because we figure out a better way of doing it, we need to make sure that all teams are aware of the changes. So it's as you mentioned before, that once we were a small team that tweeted everything, and now it's a little bit more of a process of making features.
Okay, what was the most hardest feature you all implemented in the Village and Pillage update?
We talked a lot about how to solve like the village system and like the villagers' schedules, and like they're supposed to be like at their home, at their workplace, and how can the villagers know where they work. So, and we didn't really have something we liked. So one day we just took like lots of people from the team. We sat in a meeting room almost the full day, and then we came up with the POI system. So the work station blocks, like the barrel and the lectern and so on, and the beds are also this kind of blocks, but for home. So I think that one, but it was also tricky because of design. But actually, it was quite tricky tech-wise as well.
What's your favorite part of the Nether update?
Good question. Well, in one way, it's hard to pick just one thing, because that we plan the updates. It's kind of like a package with lots of things that are fun together. But well, I actually really like the Strider. I mean, it's lovely. It is useful. Like I can ride on them on the lava, and I think it's such a fun. I love that we used to decide to do a mob instead of having just lava boats. And also, I think they have a very unique look, like they really have character, and that I think is lovely.
Yeah, the Strider is lovely. I think for me personally, I'm very biased, but I like Netherite because on my realm, I mostly use the Nether as a kind of like a subway system between my different bases. But now I have some reason to stay a little bit longer in the Nether and actually search for materials.
And that is it for our first ever Ask Mojang Home Edition. Thank you so much, Agnes and Jens, for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure to watch, because the next home edition of Ask Mojang will feature people from our team across the world, because that's one great thing to be working digitally. So very excited, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.